Hello, hello. Welcome back to another trading journal. This is for the week of September 29th. It's a little bit late. I know it's the Sunday right before the week of the 6th, but um, I've been pretty busy, so just making it now. Trying to get something out. Probably won't edit this too much, so just get right into it. Ended this week plus about $3,500 if my math is right. And the core focus was 3 trades. And they weren't day trades, although I did take a number of day trades. It was negligible to the 3 bigger trades that I focused on this week. The first one being, once again, Hood. So I had a carryover from last week where for 100 shares on Hood, where I did a buy right, and my covered call on my right side, my short call side, expired worthless, and so I was left holding 100 shares of Robinhood at a cost basis of 125.66 on Friday. And I said in that video, I'll just manage the position to see how the stock reacts on Monday. And lo and behold, the stock started shooting up on Monday. And I will completely admit, I tried to take profits on Monday by, first selling a call against it, and then it continued going up, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy how it's continuing to go up. And then so I was like, okay, I can just exit now because that was like a mini hedge. So I thought I sold my 100 shares of Robinhood along with the call. Like I bought my call back for a loss and then sold my 100 shares of Robinhood. What I actually ended up doing was I bought another 100 shares of Robinhood at $133 just about. So when I was tallying out my positions on Monday evening, I realized instead of having no shares of Robinhood, I had 200 shares of Robinhood. And honestly, I thought that was really funny because it worked out for me. It was an accidental chain play. And yeah, so I'm opening Tuesday with an accidental 200 shares of Robinhood. And I definitely think to myself, okay, I need to lock in some gains here. I don't want to. I'm feeling risk averse recently, especially like, okay, the market's going up so much. I'm cautiously bullish, but I am worried about, some sort of pullback. So to take profits, I don't sell immediately. I sell a call on it to lock in profits. So I sell like a 128 call, 129 call, like in the money calls, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done. Like look at the price action on this thing. Like look at these candles. That indicates a lot of strength. I could have sold it higher or just not sold calls at all. But regardless, I did that to lock in profits. They got called away at the end of the week, and my total profit on the 200 shares of Hood, selling calls, buying some back at a loss, etc., was $1,400, which I think is pretty good. And I'll take that win. I'll continue looking for plays on Hood, but to me it's a little extended. I'd like to see a pullback first, and then maybe I'll sell some more puts on it. Oh, maybe it's not 1,400. It might be more than that. 1 second, because I sold 2 puts on it as well early in the week. Yeah, closer to $1,600. Pretty good. Yeah, so that's covering Hood really quickly. My second play was on Bloom Energy this week. So Bloom Energy's, it's been ticking up, and had a pullback, and it held this pretty strongly. And so on Monday, right up at market open, I sold 3 puts on Bloom Energy with an out of the money strike price of $68. So like somewhat close to the money, but like at a major moving average. We'd seen a lot of support. And then later in the day, I sold another 3 puts. If we go to the 5-minute chart. Where's Monday? Monday. I sold another 3 puts in here. And so now I got 6 puts open for Bloom Energy. And then on Tuesday, I don't touch it at all. But then on Wednesday, after I see this kind of crazy price action on Tuesday, I'm like, okay, it is really strong. It has all this strength. Instead of selling more puts on it, I'm just gonna buy shares outright and sell calls on those shares, like in the money calls, to get some more premium. So I did 3 of those, and I didn't do any other plays because at that point my position size is pretty big with the puts going on and the buy rights that I have. So I don't do any more plays on BE up until Friday because I'm like, okay, everything is going to expire. I'll do one more buy right for next week. So I have one open for next week. It's the 86 strike price call, which is down here, and I bought it up at here. It'll earn me a 224 premium if it expires there, and I have protection down to the 83.77 level. And my total profit on the puts and the buy rights, the premium selling, that was about $1,150. And my last big play was and is Google. So I'd actually had a swing going on that I didn't include in my previous tallies because it was one that I'd taken further back. But I closed that, and since I've reopened it, I'll talk about my new position and what's going on there. So I made some. Where is it? I really like Google. I think I mentioned it before, and I was looking for Google to really hold this trend line that I drew all the way back in here, and it broke out, and now it's in this channel up here. And so it seems to be doing that. I got a little more. I started another new position somewhere in here. I bought 3. No, that's not entirely true. Where's my opening position? 10-1. Yeah, Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, actually, was when I reopened my position. Wednesday is here. So Wednesday, I saw it holding support pretty well, and I got in early for some calls right in here. 2 calls for next September, like they're leaps, deep in the money leaps. And I was like, okay, I'll buy some leaps in here and then sell calls on them because I like selling calls in my position. I sold the 247.5 calls, which are up here. And pretty soon afterwards, the stock started taking off. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. So then I closed those call positions down in here when they were down like 50%, or not even 50%, a couple of percent. And I opened the 245 strike price calls. Why did I do that? Oh, I sold the 245 calls because I thought I was chopping around a whole bunch, and I was like, okay, it's not going to go anywhere. I should sell closer to the money. And then it started taking off, and I bought them back for a loss. And then it kept running, and I closed those 2 calls that I initially meant to swing, and that whole position closed for like a $300 gain. This right here. Could it have been more if I had uncapped it without that covered call? Sure. And then at the end of the day, I entered 3 more calls up in this area, especially on, you see all this huge volume? I entered right at the end of the day. And then on Thursday, when I saw these huge volume candles come in at the end of the day, massive, this is huge volume. This is 158,000 5 minutes, 180,000. Like, this is institutional level support. Right? And even though it pulled back on Friday a little bit, it's back here above the support level, this 5-day moving average. And I really like Google. And my only concern would be if Google can't get back above these moving averages. This is the 20-day moving average. This is the 10-day moving average, the 5-day moving average. I think. No. Blue's the 20. Red's the 10. So if it can't get through and break above these moving averages again and trend higher, that's when I'm going to get pretty worried. And I may look for an exit and like a further re-entry down here. But as long as it's holding this level here, and as long as it's holding this trend line, I think you could very easily, we could swing all the way up, you know. And so that's what I'm looking for. I may sell some calls on here, maybe like pretty far to the money for expiring this week at 256. I'll just have to see how it goes. But my total Google position this week, including some of the calls that I sold that expired on my open position, I earned $613 off of that. Total Google plays this week. Now for the remaining parts of my trades, I had a number of day trades open. They turned out pretty negligible compared to like what happened. I think I lost money day trading, but I was relatively distracted this week. I'm not going to think too hard about that. Work has been pretty stressful, so I haven't been hyper focused on the day trading aspect and more on some of the bigger swings and premium selling, since that seems to be working out for me. As for trades that I'm holding into next week, I mentioned I have Google still open, and I'm swinging Apple. So I have an Apple trade open that I opened on. Well, I reopened on Friday because I got stopped out right here. I'm like, what the heck is that? Anyways, just a raw 50 shares of Apple right in here, and stops down here near the 5-day. We'll see how it goes. Apple seems to be in this compression, but trending higher. Maybe I should make my stop a little wider. It seems coiled and ready to spring. It's gotten a lot of strong support. Bollinger Bands opened up, and with the market backdrop being on the stronger, like bullisher side, I think we're good to go. So I'm still bullish here overall. Yeah, I got my eyes on a couple things. Tesla's interesting, although I don't really like trading Tesla. Seagate, maybe on a pullback here. I'm interested in buying Seagate. But yeah, that's like a high-level summary of my trading week. I'm not going to be able to go into too much detail because I have limited time, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing this week, unfortunately. But once work lightens up, I'll be able to go more in depth on my trading weeks in general. So yeah, maybe I'll make some like more exclusive shorts on end of the days kind of thing. We'll see. But yeah, still cautiously bullish. See how things go. And yeah, good luck next week. Peace.